Wednesday morning, just before lunch. So it has been now like 4 days since I done my little injury, as you know. 3 days since the surgery. So just giving you guys a little update on my situation. If anybody's interested, I'm home. I'm you know me, I'm pretty active normally, so we normally to keep my mind active, speak to the camera, chuck out a video. So yeah, so what's happening? So to be honest, I'm feeling a hell of a lot better. I've literally just been in the barber shop this morning, which is in my kitchen, because Caroline used to be a hairdresser. She says, get here and I'll clean you up a bit. So she's given me a little bit of a tidy up on the hair front, which makes you feel a whole lot better. Got me bent over the bath, as you do. Used to kneel on the draining board years ago and get buckets of water lobbed over you and stuff like that. So now she sorted me out, give me a good old shampooing and dust down, which is making me feel a whole lot better. So we're on that slope, I think. So this Friday, I'm getting in to have my dressing changed, which is going to be starting to sort of feel like I need it sort of changed. So that's going to be good to get that done. I'm going to try and take my camera. So I'll warn you if there's any squeamish bits or anything like that. Yeah, I just wanted to sort of like do the little vlog update of this little journey for my own sort of sanity, as well as if anybody else wants to watch it, you're fully welcome, you know. But this whole scenario, and then a week after that, the Friday, is going to be hand therapy. The hospital have contacted me having a bit of hand therapy. I'm sort of getting like already like feeling good, you know. So yeah, I wasn't so feeling good on Sunday or Saturday evening, far from it. But it just this whole kind of like scenario opened up another big question for me. It's that week, kind of when I got back to my van, and Caroline was like, she'd already sort of contacted some people in our family, and they were literally sort of like in position to if things were any worse, to get my motorhome transported out of Shepton. So which was a really good thing. That's because that was one thing I was kind of like worried about. I was kind of like worried about my motorhome being Caroline obviously being abandoned there. She can't drive. Not that there's any shortage of people at Shepton Mallet that would have not helped her for sure. But yeah, it led me on to another like question. Obviously this is a sort of big, she sort of said, look Joff, you've got to be more sensible when you especially if you're in foreign parts and you're a long way from home. It's not so easy then, which is totally understandable. And that's another thing that sort of like, yeah, got to be a little bit careful. And I was kind of like, there's a lot of like older people with motorhomes, and I was kind of think, you know, I'm one of them sort of guys that if I can help people in situations, I'm right there. And it sort of led me on to thinking that, you know, maybe like for one, I should be putting myself up for anybody that wants any assistance anytime. If you need your motorhome driving back from Spain, you know, like when we're in England and we're well, and if someone's got a problem, yeah, you know, I'm one of them people that would be definitely up for helping someone out, whatever may be the situation. So bear that in mind, guys. If you ever need any, you know, if you're in a desperate situation, a message, an email is what it would is that's as easy it would take to maybe initiate. It's a lot easier for us to you know, with computers and stuff like that, and mapping, find out where you were. I'm actually going to tag in, hang on 2 secs. I'm going to tag in the picture because I literally went on What3Words to just find out what the location was where it actually happened, and one of the closest, I was having a little look around just out of curiosity for the What3Words, and I've got one of the close ones is Boyle's Bandage Broth. I'll tag in the photo, and because I've been having some soup which amounts to broth in a bandage. So I just literally I had to look it up. I was kind of like, I was just a bit sort of, I wonder what was it? Yeah. So anyway, that's how it goes. Yeah, I don't know if anybody's been in that situation. There's got to be somebody out there that's had a similar situation, maybe emergency situation, and that situation where your partner can't drive. It can be worrying, and obviously if you do get catapulted off, yeah, it's always one of them things. It's always well, one thing when we used to be like on the motorbikes, it was always like really handy to have a person, another motorcyclist with you. That was always a great thing, just in case there was any problems. But hopefully, as you get more experienced, I'm supposed to be experienced and I'm still climbing fences, but now when you occasionally just let the guard down for a split second, and it can change, things can change. So anyway, there we go. I've been sort of mooching around a bit at home, catching up on a few forums. One I was reading, so we're sort of wild camping debate, the big wild camping debate, and I'm sort of continuing. I've been obviously I've been out of the little picture of my loose spots thing. And I was actually talking to somebody the weekend about the Caravan and Camping Club. That offer for a small fee, you can go and use their facilities on some of their places. So that was interesting. The other thing that I was actually thinking about is, which I think maybe in the future, not how much more I can do this year, as regards like CL was like the CL thing is a really good thing, and as it goes, I'm thinking of that little CL we used down near Seaton the other weekend. We did the tramway, and them guys down there were so sort of accommodating, and I can't see, it's one of them sort of places where you've sort of stayed there, and almost like if you needed to use their little chemical toilet, I'm pretty sure they would be willing to accommodate you, which is pretty interesting. I think like I say, if you go and stay at a place and then you're in that area again and you want to go back and just like use that facility, I think that's something that could be useful. Mine's taken over. So I was reading down through a little, I'm just going to read a couple of the little clips that I thought were quite interesting. So it's nothing to do with being free or any reluctance to spend money. It's all about using your motorhome to its full potential. It's totally self-contained, and sometimes being able to stay overnight in fantastic locations. We do it occasionally, although mainly stay on sites. We don't camp as such. We just park up and leave absolutely no trace. So whatever, no trace whatsoever. So they don't get out their table and chairs. They literally just stay in their camper van, spend the night, enjoy the view, and then leave. No rubbish, no waste, no barbecues on the verge, no burning of grass. Perfect. Black and grey waste is emptied at the next site we go to. We never flout any rules about not parking overnight. Those who criticise on freeloading are missing the point of owning a motorhome, in my opinion. I thought that was really valid, and totally, like I say, if people know that you're self-contained in this little box, and there's probably a lot of people on these councils that just, they don't realise how, we can leave no trace, absolutely no trace. So, thought that was really valid. Oh, and the other one going on from my little thing about the CLs were there are hundreds. Another reply on this was there are hundreds of CLs which give you freedom to do just what you like, no restrictions. You leave when you want to leave. The most that possibly were there will be 5 other units. We have stayed on 5 this year, and we've been the only ones there. So there you go. You know, if you know, so like I say, we paid £7 a night, which is that was an absolute bargain. Like I say, I definitely, because I do love that kind of. Well, this I'll go on. Shall I go on down a little bit? I'm just gonna. I don't want to. Choff always repeats itself, doesn't he? Yeah, I kind of. I'm gonna read on down, and then we'll come back because I think in a minute I've got another one here that might be relative. If we were wild camping, we wouldn't be in a town. We would be in a forest in the mountains, by a lake, and far away from anyone. We spent 3 months traveling around Europe wild camping without the need to plan, getting off the beaten track, experiencing nature, peace and quiet, adventure. Some like campsites, some not, each to their own. Spontaneity. We offer. Right. Hang on. Rewind. We often set off on a trip without too much of an idea of where we're going to stay, and we go with the flow and enjoy what we find when we find it there, or whatever we find, wherever we end up. Council car park, pub car park, a lay-by, beautiful spot at the river. The unknown becomes part of the adventure. This is good, and my wife and I are in jobs that see us having to plan every day down to the tiniest detail. So it's like a last minute thing. We're very much similar to that. So to abandon that and just set off on an adventure is incredibly cathartic. I had to, being a bit sort of like green on some of these words, I actually looked up the meaning, and the meaning is providing psychological relief through the open expression of strong emotions, causing catharsis. Crying is a cathartic release. So you know, it's good for the soul. I need to go to these places now. Release, relax. Good for the soul. So we might end up on the odd campsite to empty the loo, fill water from time to time. But the days we were able to wild camp, I don't want to be tied down to an itinerary apart from anything else. It makes the holiday go too quickly. So I love that kind of adventurous thing. I don't sort of like sometimes that situation where you might be, you know, we are quite sociable people, and occasionally it's nice to have a yap with some people and share stories and stuff. We're always about that, you know that. And there's a lot of people that we totally respect their, you know, if you want sort of just total solitude in your motorhome, we totally understand. It's not a problem. And yeah, sometimes we have not actually, you know, been spoken to too much at a campsite. Sometimes you'll put in everybody's sort of, you know, every each their own, and you do get that. Other campsites can be really busy, bit chaotic, not so relaxing. You know, sometimes you sort of get to that situation, you think, oh my God, I want to be out on my own somewhere. I want to be away from the maddening crowd. You know, on the other hand, we've been, I'm not sure of the road at Stonehenge, you know, where all the campers park at Stonehenge, and you know, we've been over there, and we've met some absolutely incredible people, and you know, I know people, you know, there's the sort of yeah, mate, we used to do in the late 70s, early 80s, we were driving, I was driving around Wales in a Vauxhall 101 column change, and we were sleeping in the back of the car. We had our little gas cylinder. You know, we were a bit wild and free people. I think we've always been like that, and later on you just evolve into motorhomes. So there's still a lot, you know, there's people like that real wild kind of like situation, and but they are some of the greatest people. I remember when we was up there not that long ago, and we bumped into a lady, and she was from like London, and she was in her transit van, you know, and you sort of, I said to Caroline, you know, she's probably going back to her flat in London where it's total, you know, get out in the actual freedom of Wiltshire is that is good for the soul, you know. So yeah, guys, you know, we appreciate any comments. We've been getting a few more comments just recently on as we're sort of growing our channel a bit. You know us, we're absolutely dedicated to the cause. We're passionate about this kind of like life and all the people, and it's all about people, and we're all in, you know, anybody that we see with a van, with a small van, with a car. If you're camping in your car, I've just been watching. Yeah, I've literally last night I was watching Wonder. I was going to have a look at my phone. Occasionally my mind goes a bit blank. I'm still pumping drugs, so I'm getting through that now. We're trying to get the mind back into a good mindset. But one lad called Wandering Where, and I don't know if you've watched him. He does the car camping, and you know, I was watching it last night, and I think, you know, he is like so passionate, as you know, he's got that passion, zest for life, and and it's just yeah, brilliant. I love it. And like I say, we were doing that car camping back in the late 70s. Traveling around in Wales, and yeah, absolutely carefree days, you know, when we but yeah, love that kind of. And like I say, from huge people in huge motorhomes, we've talked to the greatest people in Morello Palaces. We've talked to people in small vans, old vans, new vans, van builds, we've got time for everybody on our channel, and we love, you know, and that's what we're actually all about. So yeah, again, moving away from this, if you've got any comments on some of the little things that I put in my videos, give us a message, and always up for a message. And if you guys want to mention, give us a heads up. I think I was watching actually back to that emergency situation again. So I was actually catching up with Stephen, Country Van Life, up on Sky with his dog Sky, and he had another little incident where he had a bit of a fall, and I was like, oh my God, we're about someone else in the wars a little bit, you know. Oh, I was watching Elmer's Adventures as well. We're just watching Elmer's Adventures, just watching a bit of you, mate, with your bloody leg situation. And so things are happening out there. And I was thinking, you know, when I was thinking about this video with that emergency situation with Stephen up there on Sky, you know, that is where, you know, it can be proper scary for someone being on their own. And I just hope, Stephen, you know, mate, that you know, you hit that button on one of your mates, a message, a phone call. I think the Sky Road Bridge will be probably gridlocked, because you know how many people come up and help you. And that's an amazing thing about the van life community. There's always someone that's not a million miles away, I'm sure. Like I say, that is another thing that network of toilets throughout England, that would be dump stations throughout England, would be incredible. People that would drop of a hat would be there to help you throughout the country, and that's and the social media thing, you know, we always like sort of like post on Facebook, post on Instagram, so a lot of people literally know where roughly what position you're in and where you are. So always a good thing. What 3 words? Get what 3 words. If you're ever in that situation, you can be dunk right on the nail, right by my bandagey broth place, so you know where I came to grief. But yeah, that is, it can, you know, that can save people's lives. That can save people's lives. Yeah, that app is amazing, I think, for that. So I think we're going to leave the video there. Hope I've sort of like maybe raised a couple of points and you've enjoyed having a listen to my waffle. And yeah, I think soon I'll be knocking up a live. I think I did the live from the hospital the other day in a bit of a drugged state, probably not making much sense, but I think I'm going to try and get a live out there, and maybe if you watch this video and want to sort of get involved with the conversation, and it would be really good. That would be a really good way of doing it, and get a few people's like comments in. So I'm going to wrap the video up there, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see how this pans out, and we'll catch you very soon. And like I say, leave us a message, hit us up, you know the score, hit the subscription. We'll see you soon. Take care.